Just remember that the more stress there is in your body-mind system, or the more pain there is in your body-mind system, the faster the nervous system learns and records the environment and makes whatever changes it feels it must make to adapt or to survive the environment. Point being, you could do a set of 30 kettlebell swings, and the first 28 of them could look beautiful, and your nervous system says, oh good, he's swinging some weight around. But the last two where you overdo it because you're too tired and your shoulder gets in a bad position, it writes the software right then and there. It gets imprinted right there. It's saying, be alerted, we're in trouble. The charge is so high that it'll actually imprint the lousy 2 reps on top of the 28, and you won't even know the other 26 are there, because the imprint is so strong, it ignores anything that wasn't a threat to the system. It only records what could potentially threaten its life. Otherwise, how would you know when to be afraid and when not to be afraid? Right? So you don't memorize things that weren't a threat to you. Right? You probably couldn't tell me what you were doing on this day last year. Right? But I bet you can tell me the last time somebody physically hurt you. Because your nervous system put a lot of information and energy into the system to try to minimize the risk of it happening again. So if the first 26 reps look like the last year with no big problems, you can't remember what's going on. But if the last 2 reps look like the last time somebody hurt you, you'll never forget it. The problem is it'll condition you so that you move the same way that you did. It doesn't know what else to do. It takes a picture of what's happening when there's high stress, and it believes that's what you're supposed to do. Those that survive are survivors. That's the evolution of species from that perspective. But what I'm really saying is, don't do junk reps, because junk reps usually come at the end of a set when you're about finished. So it'll wipe out all the good reps you did before it. You never want to finish a set in bad form unless you're in a competition and it doesn't matter. Or you're doing specific competitive type training where you're pushing yourself at competition level or even beyond. Lots of the great weightlifters can lift more than they lift in competition. They leave something in the bank so they can keep coming back and upping the ante 1 kilo at a time, because every time they do, they get some great big award. Right? Lots of the Russian lifters, when I was up there, the coaches and my friend who was on the Russian Olympic team told me, he said, these guys often can lift 5 kilos more than they do in competition. But if they win the world record, they don't want to spend it, because all they got to do is show up at the next competition and lift 1 kilo more of those 5, and they get another world record. So they stretch all the money out. Right? My point is, sometimes they train at levels in training that are above and beyond what you see them doing in competition, and everyone thinks that's their maximum, but it isn't.